What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon here. Today I will be telling you my top 5 worst investment mistakes I have ever had in collecting Pokemon cards. Believe it or not, folks, there are no investors out there that always sell at the tippy top and always buy at the bare bottom prices. That's just not a feasible tactic. All we can do is learn from our mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes, learn good fundamentals about collecting and investing, and go from there. Before I get started, folks, thank you so much for giving this video a like, and thank you also for having been a subscriber to this channel. I love each and every one of my subscribers, so please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to show your support. I would greatly appreciate it. Folks, I brought a couple of props, if you will, for some talking points throughout this video that I will be showing you. So let's get started here with my number 5 worst investment mistake in collecting Pokemon cards, and that was this PSA 10 base set unlimited Charizard. Now, back in October of 2020, Pokemon was booming, as you all know, and this card shot up beyond $5,000. No, top 10 Pokemon did not spend over $5,000 for this card. As a matter of fact, I had spent less than $100 for this card years prior. This card has over 6,025 PSA 9 examples. That being said, you cannot expect a card with so much availability to stay at the peak of the mountain. Bottom line, folks, I should have sold this card back when the hype was on the moon. And the takeaway from this mistake is don't always try to sell at the tippy top. And don't think that something will always continue to go to the moon. In this instance, what goes up inevitably must come down. My number 4 worst mistake investing in Pokemon cards was buying modern Pokemon cards immediately after they had come out. In this instance, I am talking about the Darkness Ablaze Charizard VMAX. Let me give you a little info about this card. This card came out in August of 2020 in the Darkness Ablaze set, and as of right now, the making of this video, there are over 6,679 PSA 10 copies of this card. Now, when the graded versions of this card started to hit the market, I decided to pick up quite a few because I really enjoyed the artwork. I really enjoyed the concept of Charizard VMAX, and I was speculating that perhaps maybe this card would be like the Burning Shadows Charizard GX and would be quite difficult to grade, because if you recall, the Burning Shadows Charizard GX in a PSA 10 was like $300 for quite a bit, for quite a while. And that card eventually reached the $3,000 to $4,000 range. So I said to myself, hey, I'm gonna stock up on some of these Charizard VMAXs in PSA 10. I won't be too worried if the price or the value doesn't increase. As long as they stay at least the same price, I'll be good. But what I didn't foresee was the fact that this card is extremely easy to grade. Not only that, but it has a very high pull rate if you were opening up a Darkness Ablaze booster box. I think it's 1 of every 2 or 3 boxes you're likely to pull a Charizard VMAX. Eventually, the PSA 10 pop report for this card just kept going up and up and up and up. And let me tell you what, folks, the ceiling has not been reached for this card. We are still seeing a bunch of PSA 10s coming back from PSA. So the takeaway from this is do not invest in modern Pokemon cards the second they hit the market, at least modern set cards. If you're talking about a limited modern trophy card, that's one thing. I am talking about set cards. Do not buy the first PSA 10, the first BGS 10, the first CGC 10 that comes to the market, because more than likely the value of that card is going to come crashing down because more and more will eventually hit the market. The number 3 worst mistake I've ever made in Pokemon card investing actually goes back quite a few years ago. It was the first edition Lugia from Neo Genesis. Now, believe it or not, folks, at one time, first edition PSA 9 WotC Hollows weren't worth much of anything. As a matter of fact, if you had a raw card that was not going to get at least a PSA 10, you were probably going to lose money. That's the way the market was then. So I was looking to grade a raw first edition Lugia from Neo Genesis, and my intentions were grading it a PSA 10. So I got on Troll and Toad and ordered 5 first edition Lugia cards from Neo Genesis at the price of $99.99 a piece. Let me tell you what, folks, you can't get that price anymore. So I got these cards in the mail, I'm looking at them, they were supposed to be near mint to mint condition, and they were definitely not going to be PSA 10s. So in this situation, I had paper hands, and I decided to send all of them back to Troll and Toad to get a refund, because these cards look like they'd be PSA 7s, maybe PSA 8s. And I wanted a PSA 10. This card eventually got down to $74.99 on Troll and Toad for a near mint to mint copy. That's how low it got, a price you'll never see again. So fast forward to today, a PSA 8 copy of this card is around $1,400, and the PSA 7 version is no slouch as it sells for around $760. So the takeaway with this is if you have a very sought after card like the first edition Lugia Holo from Neo Genesis, let time do its thing. Don't offload cards prematurely. Don't have paper hands. Because if I would have hung on to those 5 Lugias and sent them in for grading, I would have made thousands of dollars. Instead, I made $0. Now, the number 2 worst investment mistake I've ever made in Pokemon was the PSA 10 Unlimited Base Set Raichu card. Now, for those longtime viewers of my channel, for the longest time, I had spent trying to find a PSA 10 Raichu and a PSA 10 Chansey. Now, for all of 2020, you did not see this card come through an auction like hardly ever. Anytime you did, it would hit a new price point. So around October and November, I decided to pull the trigger on this card, which is the worst time to buy a base set PSA 10 card, and ended up overpaying a lot for this card. And the reason I did that is because I was emotionally involved. I really wanted to complete my PSA 10 base set holo collection, and I ended up overpaying for this Raichu by a lot. Now, anytime I look at my beautiful base set cards, I can appreciate each and every one of them, except when I get to this Raichu, all I have is feelings of regret. And the takeaway from this investment mistake is do not let fear govern your decisions.
I'm afraid, all right?
And you cannot be emotionally driven with these major investments. I let the fear of not being able to get this card take hold of me, and then I made an irrational purchase, and if I would have just waited a few months longer, I could have got it for a whole lot less than what I paid. Periods of hype in the hobby are probably not the best time to buy cards. Let the hype die down and then make your investment. And the number 1 worst mistake I've ever made when it comes to buying Pokemon cards was not buying a first edition base set booster box. Now this is going to be the oldest story of the video. This is back middle of 2016. I was just getting back into Pokemon. Evolutions hadn't come out yet, and I was doing some research on eBay, and I was trying to get a hold of a first edition base set booster box. Now the packs for these boxes were selling for hundreds of dollars, which if you know nowadays, you're talking thousands of dollars for these packs, and I saw a box come up on eBay for $10,000. But I did not have the capital available to make that purchase, and this first edition base set box was the only one on eBay. And the mistake that I had made is I did not have enough capital right there ready for this investment opportunity, and I was unable to purchase it. Needless to say, this box went from $10,000 to $54,000 in a matter of like 8 months. I remember seeing a video on YouTube of the next guy to purchase this. I forget his name. I'll put a little clip on the screen for you. But he ended up buying this box for $54,000. Now, of course, this box is hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if only I had the capital at the time, I could have made an absolute fortune on this box. So the grand takeaway from this mistake is make sure you have the capital ready for sudden investment opportunities. Folks, everyone likes to talk about their wins when it comes to investing in collectibles. I thought it'd be interesting to make a video of all the mistakes and losses that I've had in the hobby. Nobody is perfect when it comes to investing. Thank you so much for watching, folks. If you do any shopping on eBay, please use my link below. It would give me a small kickback and I would greatly appreciate it. So that's all I got for you. I will see you all in the next one.